Well, I think it's interesting that obviously from a hunter standpoint, the person that's back in the States trying to make the contact, we're looking at operator skills and QSOs. And what you described sounds very much like a business startup. You have to have leadership, you have to focus on logistics and permissions, and the infrastructure needs to be there, or you don't make QSO number one. And that became really clear to me when I was talking to Max after the W8S DXpedition and just kind of digging into actually getting there on island and having some issues with a government-controlled boat and being delayed by a couple of days. So I think it's fascinating to me that you recognize that early on, and you're also in business yourself. So I think those skills probably serve you well. I've got to ask, is there another DXpedition that's on your list right now?
I'm going on one as a result of going to Sable Island last year. We're going to go to St. Paul in August and September. And we have good leadership there and the good operators from the prior trip. My good experience, I put it that way. You learn a lot. It's just like contesting. You're in close proximity with in other words, the people you invite make it the success of a DXpedition. And it's just no different than a business. You want a great team and great leadership on a team. People that are able to work on their own, but they get along really well with others. And contesting takes that because there's give and take. If you're running and somebody's your partner and they're interleading with you, you got to be able to give and take. And the same goes for DXpedition. Is very difficult. Whenever you go anywhere, there's a lot of hard work. And people have to be physically in shape to get it done. So you got to put up antennas. I went to Swains Island as well at NH8S. And when we went to Swains, of course, you already heard it's extraordinarily hot. And you have to start when the sun rises because literally by 10 o'clock, you could become dehydrated and ill. And it takes a couple of days to do that. And then once you're set up, it's like you're going to operate right now and you're exhausted. And I can almost remember every single DXpedition I've been on. It's that. And you have to maintain your good humor. And people don't know themselves until they're exhausted. I mean, you don't know that person. It's a completely different person than you think you are. But when you're without sleep, I mean, you've interviewed some contesters that have operated 48 hours and they're goofy. They'll tell you that. They get dizzy, they're sick, and it's an extraordinary strain to do anything like that. But the operations of the expeditions, it might be on for 4 hours, off for 4 hours, back on 4 hours, off for 3, back on for 4, or some crazy schedule that they come up with, so that you actually have the experience of all working all continents or all sunrise and sunset times. And it's just an exhausting experience. Where do you get 8 hours of sleep? You never do. You become this bizarre individual getting along with other people. So it's so when you recruit operators, that's one of the things you need to be careful about is how you're assembling the team. Are you going to be able to handle the stress of it all? Can you physically do the work?